And it's down the road we go for this Tuesday, 29th day of April, 2025. We're almost done with the month. What the heck happened? Of course, there's only 30 days in April. What's the old saying? 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest has 31, except February, which is too complicated now to explain. I'm Dan Coons. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. A little breezy, 54 degrees, wind out of the northwest at 25 miles an hour. We're going to be dealing with that all day today. We're between systems. To the west of us is a ridge of high pressure. To the east of us is low pressure, and we're caught in the middle. The pressure gradients are pretty tight. Going to be windy today, going to die down, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, gorgeous, warmest day of the year so far. It's coming up on Friday. Yeah, we hit 80 on Youth Parade Day last Saturday. We might be a little warmer than that on Friday. It's looking that way, and then things are going to change Friday night into Saturday. We're going to have a significant cool down and a little wind again. All those details are coming up. We have a lot of weather to talk about because there's a lot of outdoor activities going on around here, including some sort of festival down the street. Forgot the name of it. News, yes. Sports, yes. Back half of the hour, speaking of sports, we had a great visit with Ace Bollinger. Ace is in charge of Tour de Bloom. It is back. It's become one of the bigger apple blossom events of the year. It started out as, let's see if we can, the little engine that could 13 years ago. And now here it is again, including the downtown Criterium, which is on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, part of the Apple Blossom Festival. Great visit with Ace. It's a cool race. It takes place it starts on Friday, goes through Tuesday. It's actually 6 stages over 5 days. Ace will talk about that in the back half of the program. And the usual shenanigans apply. It's camera time. Here we go. Around the valley. My guess is a lot of the cameras are going to be moving around a little bit. That one's shaking a little bit, our Wenatchee Heights camera. Clouds are already beginning to thin out. We're going to do the reverse of what we had yesterday. Yesterday morning we had sunshine. The clouds rolled into the afternoon. Today it's going to be the opposite. We'll have clouds this morning and then sunshine this afternoon. So things are looking good. That ridge, that upper level ridge that's to the west of us is going to move right over the top of us, which is why we're going to have all that sunny and warm weather starting really tomorrow and lasting through Friday. Camera number 2 from our Wenatchee Heights camera. We're off to, looks like Monitor again. Good morning to Monitor. Good morning to Cashmere. Good morning to Dryden. Good morning to Shaston. Good morning to Leavenworth. Snow still up there. A lot of snow still to be melting on the upper elevations. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 feet. A lot of snow up there. Rivers are running fast. And of course, the water is really cold. I mean, it's melted snow. It's going to be cold, and with all these warm temperatures, people might be enticed to jump into a natural body of water. I wouldn't recommend it because it's cold. Camera number 3. I mean, unless you're into that kind of stuff. Our third camera, we're back up to Chelan. We're back up to the Spiderweb and the Lower Butte. Looks like Chelan still maybe has a few more clouds to the north of us than we have down here in the Wenatchee Valley. Good morning to beautiful Chelan, Washington. And they have a long way to go to fill up the tub. I was going to look at the lake level this morning and the timeline, and I quite frankly forgot to do it. That's my bad. And camera number 4. It's been a busy morning. Camera number 4, back up to Billy Goat. High clouds up there, filtered sunshine up way on top of Billy Goat Mountain. That's our highest camera of all of our PTZ cameras, and we have a lot of them. That's about the highest one. That's about 6,000 feet above sea level. That's where we can see a huge swath of real estate up in Okanagan County. Beautiful shot there. I wonder how they get there in the wintertime. I'm guessing snowcats and snowmobiles. That's just a guess. I don't know. I've never been there. A couple of slides to show for you before we slide into the weather forecast proper. You may remember this one from yesterday. These are our wind gusts for today, and this is what we're looking at. Our strongest wind gust yesterday was 39 miles an hour. It was a rogue gust. We're going to have sustained winds most of the day at about 20 miles an hour, but we're going to see gusts pushing 30 to 35 miles an hour. It's going to be a little windier to the north of us today than it was yesterday. They had some wind. Ellensburg, you have a wind advisory. They're used to that. Wind is a part of life if you live in Ellensburg, but these are your peak wind gusts for today. It's Tuesday. We always do the long-term forecast from the Climate Prediction Center, the 6 to 10-day temperature outlook. This will take you from Sunday of this week, the end of this week, through Thursday of next week, and we are leaning below for normal temperatures or normal high this time of the year, about 66 or 67. It looks like we're going to be a little below that temperature-wise as we head into next week. And as far as precipitation is concerned, same time frame, May 4th through May 8th, so this is Sunday through Thursday, we are leaning above normal precipitation. So Climate Prediction Center thinks we're going to have slightly below normal temperatures and slightly above normal precipitation for this time of the year, starting on Sunday and going through next Thursday. That's down the road. This is the next 7 days. And it's going to be windy today. We think pretty windy anyway. High of about 66 degrees. Clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. The winds will die down tonight, but it's going to take its sweet time doing it as the high pressure begins to shift in and the low pressure to the east of us shoves off into Montana. We'll dip down to about 43. And then here we go. Lots of sunshine, lower 70s on Wednesday. Warmer still Thursday. If we get to 82 on Friday, that would be the warmest day of the year. And then things change overnight Friday into Saturday. When you get up for Saturday morning, you're going to see some clouds. They'll eventually thin out. It may take a little while to do it. Friday night, there's about a 50% chance of showers. On Saturday, there's about a 20% chance of showers, but that is in the morning hours. Should be dry for the Stemel Growers Grand Parade. Now we'll have a better idea of this when we visit 24 hours from now on Wednesday. Saturday night, partly cloudy, 42 for the overnight low. We wrap up Apple Blossom weekend on Sunday with lots of sunshine, pushing 70. And once we get to 74 on Monday, we're going to cool back down again for most of next week as we say hello to May. Can't believe April is almost a done deal. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break and come back with your Tuesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
It's windy, 20-mile-an-hour wind, 54 degrees, windy all day today. Clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. A beautiful stretch of weather begins Wednesday all the way through Friday, and then we go back the other direction on Saturday. 9 minutes after the hour, about 20 demonstrators were protesting the rather strenuous pace of immigration arrests and deportations under President Donald Trump. They did that on Monday, right across the street from our very studios at the Office of Homeland Security, which is in the basement, the lowest level of the Wenatchee City Hall building. That federal office, the Homeland Security Office, manages immigration and deportation for this area. High-profile arrests and removals like that of Kilmar Albrego Garcia of Maryland have energized public actions against the agency.
Right now, we're just coming together to show that we are in support of the immigrants in our community and that we do not agree with the mass deportations that are happening and the loss of due process. And it's honestly troubling times, because if we don't fight for what's coming now, it's just going to exacerbate and continue on until the queer people are next. And, you know, it doesn't end well for anyone if we don't speak up now. I actually witnessed in January, late January, early February, I witnessed a woman who was being detained by ICE right over here, and she was wearing a skirt and a t-shirt, no jacket, no blanket around her shoulders, nothing. And she was just kind of being pushed around by them, and I drove by and had to pull over because I was sobbing, and I was just like, what can I do that's legal? And this was it. So this is the second one that I've done, and I hope to keep doing more, because until something changes, we have to keep speaking up. It's wonderful to see the support that the community has, and it goes to show that there are many of us out here who aren't in agreement with what's going on and do want to see change. But of course, we can always do more, because here we are still. I am a citizen who loves my country, and I'm terrified for what's happening. And because I love this country, I have to speak up. And if you love your country, you should speak up too.
Students in Westside High School's day program learned last week that life happens. It was an all-day financial simulation. Each student adopted the identity of a resident from the fictional town of Sheena and was handed a packet of fake pay stubs and bills. The simulation also included real professionals from local businesses like Save Mart, the Plaza Superjet, and Animal Hospital of Wenatchee. They volunteered their time to join the event. The program was in partnership with Consumer Jungle. That's a local nonprofit that offers financial educational opportunities for students and teachers. We spoke with event organizers to learn more about what that day looked like for the students.
This is my event. We live in Sheena Town, so it comes from my classroom. We just did it on a large scale. I've always done it for my final and personal finance in my class, and we always have wellness days, and so they decided, why don't we do something bigger than what we've done? So they're like, Sheena, can you do Sheena Town? And I was like, yeah, I think we can do that. And then I reached out to Luke Evans at Consumer Jungle, and we partnered with them so that we could get, we got them to pay for lunch, and they came in, they brought all these volunteers, so that's how we got it all organized together.
It's been really fun. It's just to hear these students having conversations and hear them. I think for me, I feel like adulting is a process that never ends. We're always gradually waking up to a new awareness, and you can see that happening with some of these kids in the conversations, like, oh, I got kids and I got to think about, getting the right size car. And I need to think about extra clothing expenses and food expenses. And so it's fun to see these awarenesses and these realizations dawn on the faces of these students here, these young adults.
It's very detailed. Everybody has actual paychecks, so like they're printed on business paychecks. Everybody has pay stubs that have everything that would be taken out if you worked in the state of Washington, and they all have their names on them. Everybody has all their bills, so it's very, very meticulous to put together, especially on a large scale. One of the lessons I teach when we're talking about like savings is that you need to have money always, because life happens. And life always happens. Like, you're always gonna have something unexpected come up. In the morning, they go session to session, and they choose like their house, their car, their cable and internet, their phone plans. They go through childcare. They go through EBT to figure out if they qualify for, like SNAP and the utilities and things like that, to see if they qualify for assistance. And they have to basically, the morning's all choosing. They just got done paying all their bills. So right now it's life happens. So they're kind of wandering around now, and they are paying those life happens, and they're learning life skills. So like changing a tire, going to the health clinic. Life happens are a card that they get at the very end. None of them are good. They're all bad. It just kind of depends on how bad you're going to get. So they each get a Life Happens card, and then they have to go to that session, and then they choose 2 more sessions after that to go to. Life Happens might be a child, maybe your friend's child, doesn't matter, your child flushes something down your toilet, and now it's clogged. Or you woke up to a flat tire, or you fell down and broke your wrist, and now you have to go to the clinic. You hit a dog and you don't know whose it is, you have to take it to the vet. Basic life happens. You have to get oil changes and your filters replaced. Your circuit breakers are no longer working in your kitchen. things like that. Besides being yelled at for them being poor, the response has been really good. They're actually having a lot of fun. They're actively engaged. I haven't seen most of them have said this has been amazing compared to the other things that we've done. So far so good.
Washington's 2025 legislative session adjourned on Sunday night. 105 days of work on issues like housing, health care, and of course, most important of all, the state budget. From the Olympia News Bureau, Murrow News fellow Albert James has a look at what lawmakers are saying about their accomplishments this year and what happens once these bills go to the governor.
The 2025 regular session is adjourned. Sine die.
Sine die.
Before legislators gavelled out the 2025 session, they spent Sunday settling a few outstanding issues, including House Bill 1217, which limits landlords to increasing rent no more than 10%.
This is a bill that still allows our landlords to set their rents, still allows them to make a profit, and also stabilizes renters where they are.
We need more supply so people's rents can be lowered. This policy that has come from the committee report is really going to guarantee a rent increase.
In addition to the capital construction and transportation budgets, lawmakers passed their $77.9 billion operating budget for the next 2 years. The budget balances out on spending cuts and increases to business, sales, and capital gains taxes.
New revenue streams so we could protect the essential services that people depend on and work towards a solid future.
That is going to make this state more and more and more unaffordable to live in.
Democratic leaders say they achieved a balance of minimizing harmful cuts to state services while also increasing investments in some areas, but the work was far from easy.
This was uniquely challenging because of the size of our budget deficit, all the reasons that Senator Robinson said, the many personal losses that we experienced, and the work of getting to know a new governor who, came into office in exceptionally challenging circumstances, both federally and in terms of the state budget.
On the other side, Senate Minority Leader John Braun agreed this was a very challenging session. He says the top reason being Democrats going the wrong direction in closing the deficit, giving him concern about the economy.
We should have fixed this thing by restraint on our spending. And I know that means very hard decisions. I get that. But the idea that we can fix this by putting more burden on an economy that's already kind of plateaued, I think is wrong-headed.
In a statement Sunday evening, Governor Ferguson thanked legislators for their work on investments in K-12 education, police hiring grants, and other priorities, though he said he'll be carefully reviewing the budget and its revenue increases over the next few weeks. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Among the finalized items in the state's new capital budget, more than $106 million for building and improvement projects in Central Washington's 12th District. Representative Mike Steele from the 12th is the ranking member of the House Capital Budget Committee and the lead Republican negotiator on the spending plan. Among projects, the finalized budget will pay $595,000 to expand Alethea's Writing Center in Wenatchee, $500,000 to build a new Chelan County Emergency Management Facility, and $2 million for the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. In the 7th District, there's $132 million on the ledger. Douglas County Courthouse will undergo a $610,000 rehabilitation. East Wenatchee's City Hall gets $150,000 for its own planned upgrades. Corrections deputy and K-9 handler Jacob Lewis has decided to leave the Chelan County Regional Justice Center this summer. He's going to become a patrol deputy with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and because of that, his buddy Gambit is going to have to retire too. Lewis and Gambit, a 5-year-old border collie, began working together at the Chelan County Jail in October of 2023, where his nose was essential in combating the flow of drugs and contraband into the facility. Lewis says after 7 years at the county jail and 2 years working with Gambit, the decision to leave the jail, not an easy one, but he said it was in the best interest of his family. Since he and Gambit are a team and certified as such, Lewis's departure means Gambit will retire. The drug detecting K-9 will enjoy his retirement. In Lewis's home, a new corrections deputy and a new K-9 will replace Lewis and Gambit within the coming months. At the Spokane-based restaurant turned mac and cheese booth, Mac Daddy's, won the Best in Show at last year's Apple Blossom Food Fair. Now that the food fair, Memorial Park, is in full swing, we spoke with co-owner Rob Jones about last year's win and what the festival attendees can expect from his booth this year.
So Mac Daddies came to Apple Blossom last year in 2024 for the first time. Yeah, it was great. The Valley treated us really well, bought a lot of product, and we did a pretty good job. So we have the Cougar Gold, which is the plain mac and cheese. We have the pulled pork mac and then the bacon mac. Last year the plain was demanded a lot, so this year we have the plain option here. Our Cougar Gold or our pulled pork mac are probably our top sellers. But we come in the beginning and we'll pre-make our base mac at our kitchen in Spokane at our Mac Daddy's restaurant at River Park Mall. Then we'll come into an event like this, we bring it in reefer trucks, and it comes in pans ready to go. And then we'll put it onto the flat top grills, grill it up to our temperatures, and start adding in our cheeses and flavors to get it done. If we're real busy, we can do it in about 10 minutes. If we're slow, we do it over 20, 25 minutes. Per day, several hundred pounds. On the big weekends, we'll go through 1,000 pounds.
That's a lot of mac and cheese, and that's the news on this Tuesday. If you want to keep in the loop of what's going on, we have a program that does exactly that. It's called The News, which is better than calling it What the Heck is Going On. The News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television, 5, 6, and 10 for the NCWLIFE Evening News. If that doesn't work in your schedule or you don't consume television the old-fashioned way, you do it via the internet. Our news will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. And if you've got a news tip, we want to hear from you. Our email address is news@ncwlife.com. Mariners had the day off yesterday, but they're still in first place. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin Independent and Assisted Living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Celebrate Apple Blossom with the Stamilk Grand Parade Saturday, May 3rd at 11 a.m. on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, Boswell's Home Furnishings, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Mary Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Watch the Stamilk Grand Parade Saturday, May 3rd on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Sports at 24 minutes after the hour. The LA Angels and Seattle Mariners meet for the first time this season tonight in Seattle. The Mariners are 10-6 at home and 10-2 when they score at least 5 runs. The Angels are 7-11 on the road. They've lost 7 straight, as a matter of fact, away from home. First pitch is at 6:40. Bryce Miller starts for the M's. The Angels will counter with Jack Kokonowitz. To the scoreboard we go. Rangers lost, so we still are in first place. A's beat them 2-1. The Astros knocked off the Tigers by 3, 8-5. Just one baseball game of note yesterday. Waterville-Mansfield beat Cascade on the diamond 17-7, but there's more baseball today. Doubleheader in Cashmere as the Bulldogs welcome Wahluke to town. First pitch, first game, 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock first pitch for Eastmont hosting Eisenhower. Wenatchee's on the road to Yakima to take on Davis, and Moses Lake is at West Valley. In the other conferences, in prep baseball, Tenaske's at Omak at a doubleheader. First pitch, first game at 3:30. Quincy will host Ephrata at 4:30. At 4 o'clock, it's Manson hosting Okanagan, and Liberty Bell travels to Brewster. First pitch there, 4:30. Prep softball scoreboard, Wilbur Creston Keller defeated Waterville-Mansfield Simon and Garfunkel in both of their games. A couple of easy sweeps there. Sela swept Quincy. It's been a long, hard year for the Quincy Jackrabbit girls softball team. Hang in there, girls. Sela beat them by identical 15-0 scores in both of their games. Bridgeport beat Manson 22-15. Prep softball, down to the doubleheader. It's Wahluke at Cashmere. Doubleheader at 3 o'clock. I'm pretty sure Wahluke, the baseball team and the softball team, share a bus. Chelan welcomes Cascade at 4:30. Moses Lake has Hanford in a non-leaguer at 5. Doubleheader for Brewster and Tenasket. Doubleheader for Okanagan and Manson. Prep soccer scoreboard, just one. Chelan beat Liberty Bell 3-1, but there's a lot on the slate tonight. Wenatchee is at Moses Lake at 6 o'clock. Wenatchee has lost just one league game. Every other team in the Big Nine has lost at least 4. So if Wenatchee beats Moses Lake, they'll already win the Big Nine regular season championship. Eastmont welcomes Davis. Cascade has Omak in town at 6 o'clock. Tenaska will be at Quincy at 6 o'clock, same time for Grandview at Ephrata. Earlier in the day, Manson will take on Okanagan at 4:30. And earlier still, Brewster welcomes Bridgeport. And B.J. Kuntz coming back to the Wenatchee School District. The former athletic director of Wenatchee High School graduate has accepted the position of Director of Athletics. The Wenatchee School District announced that Superintendent Corey Callahar will recommend her hiring. It came yesterday afternoon in a news release. Kuntz served as the AD from 2002 to 2014. Then she went to work for the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association. Most recently, she has been the athletic director with the Renton School District. Kuntz was chosen from a pool of 3 finalists who participated in interviews back on Thursday of last week. Pending school board approval, she will begin her new role as the athletics director on July 1st. Full disclosure, she is one of my siblings. I have to make that clear. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 27 minutes after the hour. Happy National, or is it International? Nope, it's National Zipper Day today. We don't think much about the zipper. We use zippers all the time, every day. Clothes, purses, various other articles have zippers on them, but we don't give the zipper the respect it deserves. The zipper, a workable zipper, is only about 130 years old. Buttons have been around for 4,000 years. Zippers are brand new. At one time, zippers were called morally corrupt because it made taking off your pants easier and quicker. I kid you not. The first big customer for the zipper, the U.S. military during World War I, a lot cheaper than buttons. The biggest distributor and manufacturer of zippers is a Japanese company called YKK. They have about half of the zipper market sold in the world with one company. In fact, YKK has factories in 71 different countries. The global market for zippers, $11 billion a year. Get into the zipper business. And over, my favorite stat about zippers, about 1,700 men go to the emergency room every year because of zipper-related injuries. And we will leave it at that. Happy birthday to the zipper, although I don't know it's the zipper's birthday today. Today in history, 55 years ago today, April 29, 1970, the United States and South Vietnamese forces invade Cambodia to hunt for the Viet Cong. The Viet Cong basically were using Cambodia as their backyard. They knew the way around. The North Vietnamese, what did they do? Well, they found out about it. The Viet Cong forces were well aware of the planned attack, and so they fell farther west, deeper into Cambodia, and they regrouped. They did leave behind a lot of arms and a lot of equipment, and the South Vietnamese and the United States were able to get all that, but they didn't do a lot of killing, and the whole thing only lasted about 6 weeks, and then everything went back to where they were. The Viet Cong went back to where they were, and the United States retreated to their original battlefield positions, but it did cause a little unrest here in the United States. Speaking of unrest, 33 years ago today, man, do I remember this. The 4 police officers acquitted of using excessive force in the beating of Rodney King did not go very well in parts of Los Angeles over the next 3 days. 63 people killed, hundreds of buildings destroyed, 2,383 people injured, 1,200 arrests. The LA riots broke out April 29th, 1992. And 10 years ago today, if you remember 10 years ago, in 2015, there were a lot of protests in Baltimore, and the mayor of Baltimore issued a curfew basically banning any large gatherings of any kind, including baseball. And on this date, 10 years ago today, the Orioles beat the White Sox, by the way, 8-2 at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Paid attendance, 0. Nobody was allowed in the ballpark to watch the game because of the 2015 Baltimore protests. The game, I guess, must go on. It's the bottom of the hour. Birthdays. If there was a Mount Rushmore of jazz, it would be, let's see, Miles Davis, let me think here, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and Edward Kennedy, Duke Ellington, one of the musical giants in this country's history, because don't mean to think of it, ain't got that swing. Cocktails for Two, Diminuendo and Crescendo in Blue, the Black, Brown, and Beige sessions, Moon, Indigo, Take the A Train, on down the line. I had Duke on my stereo this morning. Good way to start your day. Duke Ellington, born in the state in 1899. Willie Nelson is 92. Somebody should probably tell him. Happy 92nd birthday, Willie Nelson, Shotgun Willie, and Red-Headed Stranger. Put it on your turntable, and thank me for that. The man who won 76 Winston Cup races, 7 NASCAR championships, has tied with Richard Petty and Jimmy Johnson for the most of all time. Of course, we lost Dale Earnhardt during the Daytona 500 in 2001. He was born in the state in 1951. The richest comedian of all time, his net worth is over $1 billion. Jerry Seinfeld, who was the only actor to appear in every episode of Seinfeld, is 71 years old today, and the only male actor to have 3 Oscars for Best Actor. For My Left Foot, There Will Be Blood, and Lincoln, Daniel Day-Lewis, who says he's retired, and I hope not, is 67 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. It's going to be in the lower 80s on Friday. Is your air conditioner ready to just switch from heat to air? Probably not. Make sure by calling Alpine Air to have them come up and give you a tune-up. They got a special going on right now. Mike Minotti has got an opinion coming up, and then Ace Bollinger, who is in charge of Tour de Bloom 2025. Bicyclists will be invading the Wenatchee Valley, and I'm glad they are. Ace will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Celebrate Apple Blossom with a Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 2nd at 6 p.m. on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, Boswell's Home Furnishings, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Watch the Classy Chassis Parade Friday, May 2nd at 6 p.m. on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Celebrate this great country during Rockfest in Rock Island the last Saturday in June.
Great music, great bands, great fun. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Mark your calendars and be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music until the fireworks start crackling. Contact info@rlstalent.com if you would like to help sponsor this event or bring your awesome food truck. Space is limited. Rockfest at the Rock Island Golf Course, June 28th.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. And I'm going to bet, with housing prices where they are these days, we're going to see a return to, or at least a new phenomenon of multi-extended family or extended generational family living. You know, if the average family income was about $57,000 and the average home price being $450,000, I mean, come on, we can't see how new home ownership for a single family is going to be feasible. Extended family members or multiple families sharing a home and mortgage is probably going to become a new trend. Good thing or bad? Well, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't mind if my daughter's family moved in with us in the same house, but my son? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The 106th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival's second weekend is jam-packed with multiple events, including the Classy Chassis Parade on Friday night and the Stimulk Growers Grand Parade on Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon and night brings the Tour de Bloom to downtown Wenatchee, and the Arts and Crafts Fair at Memorial Park runs through Sunday. Info@appleblossom.org.
Welcome to Gilded Lily Home, where something extraordinary is waiting. You'll be delighted to find an amazing selection of specialty foods and tabletop decor. Browse their uniquely curated collection of gifts. Shop for yourself in their wide collection of jewelry and clothing, and for your home with their amazing hand-selected furniture, lighting, and decor. The Gilded Lily Home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items for your home, your kitchen, and your lifestyle.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Save hundreds, one seat at a time, at Boswell's. Right now, take $200 off each dressless seat. This includes each dressless Laurel and Mint dining chair and home office chair, each dressless recliner, and each dressless sofa seat. Spring is here. Refresh your home with stressless seating for less. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Started out with a phone call with Darcy Christopherson 10, 12 years ago. Hey, we want to do a little bicycling racing in downtown Wenatchee as part of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Darcy gave the green light. Ain't necessarily a thing to do. And now it's back again for the 12th or 13th year. It's bigger and better than ever, as is my guest, Ace Bollinger, who's basically the daddy of Tour de Bloom 2025 back here. 6 events over 5 days celebrating great racing and, of course, the Apple Blossom Festival. Ace, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
You're looking well?
Oh, well, trying to. Yeah, putting a race of this magnitude on is a little stressful and daunting at times.
You are head dude of the Velo Club too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Wenatchee Valley Velo Club, which is a non-profit cycling club here in the Valley.
And a thriving one at that.
Yes, we do our best to promote and protect cycling in the Wenatchee Valley.
Take us back 2012, whenever it was, the first one. Hey, we got to close the downtown streets, and we got to do this and that and the other thing, and yet they said, what? Let's give it a run. See what happens.
So we came off a dismal year of racing. Like 3 days before, we had under 100 racers, and we were bouncing around from a weekend here, weekend there, weekend in May, weekend in June, trying to get our spot on the calendar. And I met Craig Still down there at Garlini's. There might have been a beer involved in that. And we're like, what can we do to make this race better? And I said, you know, why don't we run it after the Grand Parade at Apple Blossom? He looked at me like I was like talking in tongues. Like, there's no way. We called Darcy up. Darcy said, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's see. You know, Darcy's such a great visionary on, hey, what can we do to make not only the festival better, but Wenatchee better? You know, I mean, she's always been forward thinking on it. She goes, let's give it a try, boys. And we've been on that date ever since. And our numbers have grown exponentially. 2 years ago, we had our best year. We had 349 racers come. Last year, we were at 559. And this year, currently, we're at 605 racers coming from all across the Pacific Northwest, and really this year all across the globe.
How can you account for that? Why the sudden growth in this event?
I think it's a plethora of things, but this year especially, we have gone up to the international level. So what we've raced before is USA Cycling, and so we've been offering the top level in the nation at that. This year we went to the UCI, which is the Union of Cyclists International, and so we are one of only 2 UCI women events in all of North America this year. One was just this last weekend, a tour of the Gila down in Silver City, New Mexico, and us. So it's 2, and so we've got teams from Spain, we got teams from Mexico, South America. We even have the Iranian national team coming. Their visas were just approved by the state district last week.
Wow, so getting that accreditation is huge. And the word gets out of the bicycling community, right?
Absolutely.
The serious cyclists have said, hey, you should come to Wenatchee that first weekend in May because they got their act together.
Yeah, we like to pride ourselves a long time ago, and this might be kind of a play of old, but we always like to think we were the Nordstroms of cycling. You know, I mean, these are our customers. You treat them right, you feed them right, they're gonna come back. And you know, our whole team is very responsive and very receptive to the cycling needs of the community. And you know, 98% of our racers come from that I-5 corridor from Vancouver, Washington to Vancouver, BC. And so we have a big following there. And plus, who wouldn't, look at this weather, who wouldn't want to come over to Wenatchee and race their bikes? The community rolls out the carpet for them. Everybody has a great time. It's just fantastic.
Most people think, when they think about the races, is what's going to happen on Saturday night. The Criterium Pro and Amateur races presented by Rookard Pools. That's right down the road from us. And we're going to talk about that in a separate interview. So I'm going to have you, Ace, handle all of the other deals. First of all, it's 5 days, 6 stages. It starts Friday up on the plateau, the Still Properties Waterville Road Race, and that brings out a lot of people. So talk about stage one.
Well, that's one of our oldest and most iconic courses up there in Waterville, because you know, Waterville's flat, right? If you've ever been at Waterville, you know that's not the truth. It's rolling terrain. What is so unique about that course in the racing perspective is that, you know, you get 4 direct directions. You know, you get north, south, east, and west. And we all know that the wind's going to blow up there. It's just what directions are going to blow. You're going to have a headwind on a certain stretch. You're going to have a tailwind. You're going to have a crosswind to where the bike's echelon all the way across there. So it really, as that first stage, brings it. You got to have a good team with you. You got to have good thought going forward. How are we going to tackle this course? You know, the elite men are going to do 89 miles that day. The elite women are going to do 58. So it's a daunting task up there. I think our greatest accomplishment with that is you know, not only having a great sponsor in Still Properties that are one of the founding families up there in the Waterville area, but also, you know, we reached out a long time ago to the high school, to the athletic department, said, hey, we need help, we need volunteers to put this on. And so every year for the last 6 or 7 years, we have all the kids, they only go to school 4 days a week. So on that Friday, they come out, and it really is a neat and unique concept, because we tell our racers, like, hey, here are these athletes supporting athletes. And so you've got kids out there, you know, from 7th, 8th grade up to high schoolers, their signs, they get it, the racers get it. It's just a really good community feeling up there. So
the kids are going, that looks like fun. I think I'll go down to Arlberg and get me a bike. Right?
Exactly, right? Yes, yeah, the Pattons love it, right? So yeah, we do that. We'll be racing up there. It starts at 9. We should be done about 4 o'clock. The winner of each race gets a custom cowboy hat with the Waterville race champion on there. You'll see a lot of those Saturday night down there at the Rookard Custom Pools crit. Saturday morning, we jump up to the Mission Ridge hill climb. So this is for amateurs only. It's not for the women elite or the men elite. And so basically, we're going to, everybody's going to park at Mission Ridge. So they're going to ride down the hill to the bottom of Squilchuck State Park. And then they're going to ride 4.25 miles, about 1,800 feet of climbing up to the top. We're anticipating the fastest participant will be sub 20 minutes. So, I mean, and that's a real grind. And with the, for all the photo opportunities and whatnot, it's a great opportunity to get up there and watch those guys climb and just some spectacular scenery.
And that's Saturday morning, and that's for amateurs.
Yes, yep, for amateurs. That starts at 9. We will have our finish line is right up there at Mission Ridge. So if you wanted to go up there and sit on their beautiful sun deck and enjoy the sun and have a coffee or a cold beer, you could sit there and watch everybody finish up there. We'll have some tunes spinning. It'll be a pretty good vibe on that. So yeah, that'll be good.
And then Saturday night, again, we'll be talking about the big downtown criterium with a second interview.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning, downtown Plain.
Sunday morning is the Arlberg Sports Road Race. We originally had done that on Fridays, and we switched over to Sundays, and with huge success on that, we engage the community quite like what we do in Waterville. We reach out to the Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue Crew, and they come out with 50+ volunteers. So when you're out there, you see the moms and the pops and the grandmas and grandpas, and some people have had their same spot, their same corner for 10+ years. They're like, oh no, that's my corner there, and they're proud of it. It really is. We kind of bring the Plain community together. We have the Old Mill restaurant up there. They supply sandwiches for us. And we start at Plain Cellars. Bob Sage and his new guy Eric Anderson up there rolled the carpets out for us. They've secured parking. It's great. You get done on Sunday. The amateurs. That's the last day of the amateurs. So there's always some. We give out a nice bottle of wine from there. We also have a ceremonial hatchet. We've been known that 1 year we gave out a 6-pack of beer, and a hatchet went to the beer can. Yes, you can only I'm like, did someone get that on camera? Please tell me someone got that on camera.
They race to Plain and back, but you go all the way basically to where the Cougar Inn used to be.
Yes.
And then you go back the other way, but it's not exactly the same back and forth. You mixed up the
So there's a 25-mile circuit that spins around there, and yes, we take that waterfront road around there. I call it Pine Cone Alley because you can go there and clean all the pine cones, and an hour later you got pine cones on the ground. It's tight, it's twisty, it's technical, it's a lot of fun. The racers love it. But the unique thing about that is we have the last about a mile and a quarter is straight up Beaver Hill. So that's where the finish is at. And if you're interested in watching some incredible cyclists climb, that's a great place to watch that race as they get up there. And it's just like pure exhaustion. There's some guys that get across that line, and you got to help catch them so they don't drop over. So yeah.
That's the last of the amateur events, but the elites and the pros, they're not done yet.
Nope. We got 2 more days.
Talk about those.
So Monday, we have the Builder's First Source time trial out at Palisades. We picked that road because it's one of the least used roads in Douglas County. It's also somewhat of a dead end because it goes from pavement to gravel. And this year we're going all the way to the end, and we're starting from the end and going out 30 kilometers, so it's about 18 miles. And that should be a lot of fun to watch that. It's it's quiet roads, it's good pavement. Douglas County has they're great to work with. They permit us with Waterville, they permit us with that, and they have Douglas County deputies that come out and help us. So yeah, the time trial is the true test. It's a test of, it's you against the clock. You can't draft. It's just you out there giving it your best. And there'll be some cyclists that will, fastest I'm going to assume going to be about 38 to 42 minutes. And you'll see some wattage averages probably in the 500 to 600s over that amount of time, which is absolutely outstanding.
How do they do that race if it's just a time trial? It's not a race, as you mentioned. You're racing against the clock. How do you keep the fact that you can't be drifting behind another cyclist? Is it like every 5 minutes?
So the women elite, the UCI women, they'll start 1 minute apart. And so yes, and you can if you can pass a cyclist, you just can't come up right to them. You got to go all the way around them. I believe it's you got to have a 7 meters, and then you got to give them it's 7 meters and 3 meters, and then you got to get over right away and whatnot, and make sure they're not drafting on you and everything like that. But we have 20 UCI and USAC officials And we have motorcycle officials out there to make sure that nobody is drafting and whatnot. So,
and the final event, I got a kick out of this, the legendary, and we miss Ed a lot. No,
yes.
we miss Ed.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I said, okay, well, they start at Lincoln Park, they end at Mission Ridge. How hard can that be? And then I looked at the map and I said, good God, talk about this.
Well, so in any great stage race, you always have what they call a queen stage. And that's the stage that is the toughest. That's the stage that's the most technical. That's the stage that really tests the mettle of the cyclist. And, you know, Ed Farah, rest in peace, Ed, was one of the founders of Wenatchee Valley Velo. And we all know the success that Tyler Farah had with the Tour de France. And you know, these are the roads that Ed taught Tyler how to ride, and the roads that Tyler went up there to train so that he could become a professional cyclist. And it's a tough, you know, it's 65 miles, almost 9,000 feet of climbing. Like you said, you know, and that's, you know, Biosports. When we told Dustin Smart, the new owner of Biosports, about that, he's like, I want in. This is, you know, he was a great friend of Ed, and he's like, I want to sponsor this. So Biosports is presenting the Ed Farah, and that's just what we're calling it, is the Ed Farah. It's not you know, memorial. It's just the Ed Farah road race.
I think that's the way he'd prefer it, too.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he probably doesn't even like us talking about that. Yeah. But yeah, so we've got we'll be out there at Malaga. We'll be spinning some laps around the Malaga golf course out on those roads. They're going to climb Joe Miller not once but twice. They're going to descend down Stemilt Road there, back to the highway. They're going to climb it again. They'll take the Wenatchee Height roads, which, you know, if you're a cyclist here in town, that's the holy grail, right? It is fantastic. It's technical. It's tight. It's twisty. It's got everything that you want. And some of the road racers that have been up there, and they tell me, there's like, this is fantastic, because, you know, the roads are small enough that a racer can get away. You know, one of the complaints that cyclists from Europe have about racing in America is the roads are always too wide. So you always kind of know where everybody's at. It's when you get those tighter roads and they're twisty and they're technical is when someone can pop out and you kind of lose track of them. Like, oh, I got to go after him. So yeah, after going across the heights and descending, screaming down the Heights Road, they're going to take a left at Squilchuck and climb about 6 miles all the way to the top. And once again, we're going to finish up in Mission Ridge. The last 200 meters of it is on gravel. And so, you know, we invite everybody to come up there and watch that. You know, so basically on Tuesday, May 6th, go up there and have a cold beer and on that sun deck and look over and watch them finishing. And it should be spectacular.
And I need to point this out. Yes, for all of these things, there'll be a pilot car and there'll be some law enforcement people keeping an eye on stuff. But for the Tuesday race, there'll be some pilot cars, but for the most part, you're on your own, motorists. This is very important because the cyclists are going to be out there.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If you drive around the Malaga, Stemilt, Mission Ridge area and the Wenatchee Heights, keep an eye out for these cyclists on Tuesday, because a lot of these guys are going to be separated from the pack. And you got to be on your best behavior.
Exactly. Well, and what we have is what is called a rolling enclosure. So we have 2 law enforcement. This year, we partner with Douglas County Sheriff's Department. Will be out there. So they'll be at the front. And if they encounter any cyclists or any motorists coming at the race, they'll ask them to pull over and stay there until the bikes go by. And it's a daunting caravan. When you're at this UCI level, you know, we have 4 or 5 commissaires, which are the referees. We'll have a dozen motorcyclists. We'll have 23 team cars. We'll have a team doctor, Dr. Tom Ettinger, is helping us with that. And you got Ballard Ambulance out there. So, you know, I mean, we do the best we can to protect the cyclists. So, you know, if you do see us coming or whatnot, pull over, enjoy the show. Yes, you might have a slight 5 to 8 minute delay. But you know, it'll be sunny out. It'll be a good time, right?
Hey, so as the race director, the man in charge of the entire 5-day party, how many phone numbers do you have in your cell phone? I dare ask.
I think you know, I don't know which is worse. You know, I list numbers under bike riders and pickleball players. So if your name comes up and there's a PB underneath there, oh, he's a pickleball player. If it, you know, comes under what team name you are, if it's like, oh, hey, you know, here's Jeff Werner from Red Kilo in Vancouver, Canada, it's like, yeah, you know, I mean, otherwise you can't keep them straight.
That's true.
Yeah.
Everything that we talked about, if you go to Apple Blossom's website, you'll see the link that'll take you right to the Tour de Bloom website. Everything is there. The maps, the schedules, Yep. How to do everything you could possibly. It's a very well done website. By the way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've worked hard on that and whatnot. Yeah. Another very exciting thing that we have this year is we do have a production team coming out of South America that is going to be broadcasting the whole race. They have a following of 400,000 people, Spanish speaking. So we also have an English commentator that will be doing that. Brad Sonar is going to be doing that as well. That live stream, if you want to catch any of that, will be on our website, which is www.tourdebloom.com.
On tomorrow's edition of this program, we're going to concentrate on one event only, the most spectacular, spectator-friendly event of the entire 5-day party of Tour de Bloom. That's the downtown part of it, which is a blast because I've never missed it. And we'll have that on tomorrow's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Ace, it's good to see you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
We will be right back.
Hey. If it feels like everything you say to your teenager goes in one ear and out the other, you're not alone. But even when it seems like they aren't listening, they are, especially when it comes to a topic like drugs. Find time in everyday moments to share facts, teach refusal skills, and answer their questions about drugs, including opioids like fentanyl, because your words matter. Get the conversation started today.
Central Washington Water is home to the Hot Spring Spa for over 45 years. Come see the Freshwater Smart IQ. It monitors your saltwater spa's pH balance, chlorine, and more. Or the cold plunge tub that will leave you feeling rejuvenated. Plug-and-play spas make hot tubbing easy. With great financing available, cold water, salt water, hot water, Central Washington Water has a spa for your budget and your lifestyle. Stop by today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Celebrate this great country during Rockfest in Rock Island the last Saturday in June. Great music, great bands, great fun. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Mark your calendars and be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music until the fireworks start crackling. Contact info@rlstalent.com if you would like to help sponsor this event or bring your awesome food truck. Space is limited. Rockfest at the Rock Island Golf Course, June 28th.
Temperature hasn't moved much, still 54 degrees here in the big city. Wind pretty consistent, and it will be all day today. Right now it's at west-northwest at 20 miles an hour, and guess what? It's going to be the case all day and really into the evening hours. So it's going to be gusty everywhere in our viewing area. It's going to be a little windier up north in the Omak-Okanagan area, in that part of the area, and the Mid-Ohio Valley. They were a little breezy yesterday. They're going to be considerably windier today. Everything is going to calm down. We're in for a gorgeous stretch of weather once we get to Wednesday. One thing I wanted to mention at the top of the show during our opening greetings, and I didn't. Relative humidity continues to be bone dry, much drier than normal for this time of the year. Yesterday afternoon at about 1 o'clock, our relative humidity bottomed out at 20%. That's really, really dry, and it doesn't help, you know, and as we warm up, we're going to have some pretty warm temperatures, drying out all the grasslands and everything. And the wind, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but I'm a little concerned about that. Long-term forecast for next week, slightly cooler than normal temperatures. There is from the Climate Prediction Center, this is Sunday through Thursday, the 4th through the 8th. We're going to see slightly cooler than normal temperatures. At least we're leaning that way. This is temperatures we're talking about. Precipitation, we are same time period, leaning slightly above. So we could be in for slightly cooler and slightly wetter weather May 4th through the 8th. That is this Sunday through this Thursday, but that is down the road. The most important thing, because the Apple Blossom Festival is in full swing, what do we have in store for the rest of the week? Well, it's going to be cloudy this morning, sunshine this afternoon. That process is already began. The one thing we are going to have all day today is wind. Good, consistent wind at about 20 miles an hour with gusts pushing 30 at times today. Clear tonight, still breezy. It will die down eventually early Wednesday morning. We'll dip down to about 43, and then here we go. High pressure, which is currently just off the Pacific coast, going to shift right over our area, which means lots of sunshine. 71 on Wednesday, 76 on Thursday. Warmest day of the year so far is going to be Friday afternoon into the lower 80s. Friday night, while we're sleeping, the ridge moves away, the clouds move in, could see a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of light rain on Saturday morning, but by parade time, by 11, we should be dry. And that is it for us. Start your Wednesday, the last day of April. Tomorrow with us. Till then, bye-bye.